Oh, we're live.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grandmahursheycooks. I am in a different scenery, as you can see. I am at my beautiful niece's home.
Hi.
And we are going to do her recipe of a simple broccoli stir fry, okay? And let's see, I don't know what I'll say. I know one thing, she has a degree in nutrition. You know, Grandma Hurshey always trying to look stuff up. And so she knows stuff that Grandma Hurshey don't know. So if you got a question, you know, we might probably answer. But anywho.
I don't know about all of that.
And Grandma Hurshey is still Grandma Hurshey. You know you're going to get your bloopers here. And you know she going to be misbehaving. She can't help herself. All right. So, while you're out of the light, she's shy. She's shy, but you know I'm not. So anyway. So since I'm not at home with my teleprompter, I got my cue cards. And I'm already off cue.
Oh boy.
Well, this is episode 36, all right? And this is broccoli stir fry. It's a simple version. And then what nationality of the Asians are the people where you got the recipe from?
So I got this from a YouTube channel called Chinese Cooking Demystified, and they did a Cantonese version of stir fry techniques. They did 3 different versions. I'm trying their first one. It's easy. I have a kid to cook for. I don't have all day to do all the cooking. So this is a really good version, and you know, it's easily modifiable.
See, because time is of the essence around here. We don't have all day. So the show is about making healthier versions of food so that people who are on dietary restrictions can eat good tasting food. We shouldn't have to have horrible food and nasty food just because we have a restriction, honey. We're born to eat, and we're going to eat, all right? And we're going to enjoy it and still keep our numbers right for the doctors, okay? So at this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the recipe, because this is going to be start to finish. See, okay? So when you figure out on the next time you want to watch the show, you can get all your ingredients together and you can make it with the show. There we go. Go ahead, good. Got my little beautiful niece.
Uh-oh. Well, like I said, this is home cooking. I do not use a wok. Number 1, because my stove isn't powerful enough. Number 2, because you can just use a simple skillet. And from what I've seen, as far as my research goes, it's more about technique and not necessarily the tools. So first thing that we do is realize that the cooking is more about fast, when you're cooking fast, you are keeping the nutrients and the character of the vegetable that you're using. So we do a quick blanch, which is basically a fancy word for your very quickly dunking something in water, and then you're gonna let it cool off. What I didn't do was remember to get my container and get some ice.
That's your first blooper. You know it's a live show. You get your bloopers here, okay? Don't worry, she'll be right there. We're going to see all that lovely when she get back. As you know, around here, we should this.
So we're going to get this ice bath going because, you know, the struggle is real.
Yeah,
we forget stuff.
Exactly. That's just how we are. We're human, okay? And so, but anyway, we like to have fun. You know how Grandma Hurshey is. You know how she rolls.
So I have a bowl with ice and water in it. So when I'm finished dunking the broccoli that I used, I got it from Trader Joe's and I cut it up. It was about $1 cheaper than getting it pre-cut. Sometimes it's worth that. And sometimes you get a better quality product because the whole thing is together. Sometimes, not all the time.
But today it is.
So I have a pot of boiling water. Now, I am at high altitude. Water does not boil at 212 degrees. Nothing cooks the way you need it to cook at the same time that you can get the other recipes to cook if they were made at sea level or below. Keep that in mind. So everything's going to seem like it takes longer because it does. So we have to be patient.
And one day, Grandma Hershey gonna figure out how to adjust her recipes to high altitude.
Yes, ma'am, please do.
Right now, they just adjusted to short altitude like me. Short jokes.
Oh my goodness.
Keep them coming.
Now, what we're looking for is that broccoli is going to turn from a dull green to a vibrant green. That's exactly what you're looking for. And then you're going to turn off the stove and dump out the water.
Love you guys. You want Grandma to Hershey to sing and dance for you? Oh, here she comes. Never mind. Saved by my niece.
I would still like to see that. Oh my goodness.
Jazz hands. Maybe I should be called Crazy Grandma Hershey. My grandkids think so.
Oh man. Now I'm going to fish these out because now my skillet is getting hot enough that I can put in the oil and then the aromatics. So I noticed a theme with a lot of cooking, and that is you have some kind of source of oil, and then you use the oil to bring out the smell of the aromatics. Uh-huh. So the better quality of your aromatics, your garlic, if you're buying the bagged garlic, shame on you, first of all. That does not take that long to prepare a piece of garlic. It's gonna taste different. It's gonna smell different because it doesn't have all the preservative. Oh. Number one, it's not as old either. Same thing with ginger. Learning how to pick out what decent ginger is, and even your shelf-stable salts and spices and peppers. It makes a huge difference how long they've been sitting on the shelf.
Wow.
And then if you buy whole spices, they tend to have a little better time on the shelf than if you get them pre-made. Because when you grind up everything, mm-hmm. Usually you're getting stems and twigs and stuff like that ground up in your spices. Oh, wow. So it will change the quality of the spice. Does it take extra time? Yes. But you're trying to be healthy. You want the quality of your food to reflect that. And if you can't enjoy what you eat, then you're not going to eat it, right? Exactly. I'm just saying.
Exactly. See, Grandma Hershey learned something new.
She's known for it.
No, I just learned something new. Yes. What? See? It pays to have guests who knows stuff.
Now, the thing about stir frying, it's supposed to be fast. But like I said, my stove is not that powerful. I don't have a wok, and I really don't have the best technique. We're just going to do this mom style.
Okay.
So I have about 3 cloves of garlic chopped up along with some ginger. I am going to fry it up until I start to smell it. Yeah. Don't burn it.
Yeah.
You smell it?
Already. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. It's looking good. I can smell the broccoli and the garlic. I check it out for you. You know, Grandma Hershey not going to steer you wrong on purpose. All right. It's smelling good and it's looking good already.
Now, this is about the time you will notice, because your broccoli is a different temperature than your skillet is, right? So the reason that the woks are usually run so hot and they can cook so fast is because the wok is so hot, it does not drop temperature as quickly as my fabulous cast iron skillet here does, burning on medium high, okay? So you give yourself some patience and understand it's just gonna take a little bit more time to get up to temperature. When it finally does, then you're going to add on what they kind of call a glaze. So basically it's something for aesthetic and a little bit of seasoning. It's some sugar. I put about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon for the broccoli that I'm using. I used about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and sugar, and then a little bit of cornstarch, maybe 1/2 teaspoon, and then some water. So when this actually decides it's going to get its act together, we will go ahead and put it in. We're going to mix it together, and then we're going to plate it, and we're going to eat it. Because like I said, I don't have time to cook long recipes anymore. I need it done, and I need it done fast when I'm hungry. My kids yelling at me. I need stuff done.
Exactly.
That's all. So this is also another reason that it's good to par cook your broccoli, because if you're like me and you like char, and you can actually crank this sucker up, use smaller quantities. You will get a char in your food. If you don't like char because it's bitter or it's too sharp or whatever the case may be, then you can use larger quantities. You're going to get more of a steam than you are a char.
Ah, okay.
Now I'm cooking for guests.
Yes.
Who are super tasters.
Yes.
And they are not fans of bitter stuff.
No. She's gonna be nice for me. Thank you.
So we're just gonna modify it to work that out.
Oh, thank you so much.
So like
I'm gonna give her a big hug and a kiss later.
Now, what I really like about the stir fry recipes, outside of the fact that they are super simple, is that they allow the main ingredient to shine through. I love Chinese food. I love Asian food just in general, if I'm being perfectly honest. And when you put too much stuff in it, especially when it's Americanized, it's either too sweet or it's too salty or it's too oily. You know, it's very rarely done in a way that lets the vegetable themselves shine, or they just put too many things at once. So because I like to investigate how other countries make their meals and whatnot, I noticed in quite a bit of Asian cooking, they will take small quantities of food and they will have a variety of them sitting around the table. Everybody gets their bowl of bread or rice or whatever, and everyone just shares from the main meal. So this quantity of broccoli is probably double what they would have for a family of four.
They would probably think we're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Extra cooking. Yes. So you can always alter your seasoning if you want. I think I've cooked off all of the liquid.
Okay.
Now remember, cornstarch, it likes to solidify. So I'm going to stir it up because I made it before the show started.
Don't you look professional? She needs her own show, but she's too shy. So I'll do it for her.
Mama cannot. And all this basically does, like I said, is just make it a little more aesthetically pleasing and adds a little bit of seasoning. If you want more salt in your food, then you add more salt in your food. But you should also remember what your goal was.
Right. Because if you got high blood pressure, don't you add that extra salt.
And don't blame it on me.
Exactly. Don't blame it on her. All Grandma Hershey.
So at this point, I've turned off the stove.
It looks and smells good, y'all.
The broccoli is not overcooked. Your broccoli should not be flimsy. It should not be mushy. If you're frying it, it should not be that way. If you're roasting it, it should not be that way. If you're putting it in a soup, depending on what kind of soup you're making, it should still have its character.
See, that's why we have an actual nutritionist on the show.
It's been a long time since I practiced in that. And voila.
So now, you want to kind of show the bowl a little bit so they can see the inside of it.
Yeah, let me go ahead and.
Yes, just hold it up.
I don't know.
See how good that look? Woohoo! I'm anxious to taste it for you. Grandma Hershey gonna make sure it's not poison for you. That's what I love my show, because I get to taste the food.
So we're gonna do a piece of broccoli a piece.
Okay.
Because you know this is for tasting. I used your fork for this.
And so what we're going to start doing, thank you. What we're going to start doing is on 5th Tuesdays, it's going to be guest day. Okay. I was going to wait till January, but since I had to be out here anyway, why not start it now? And why not start with my lovely niece? All right. So Grandma Hershey going to taste it. It's nice and crunchy. Let's see. Oh my God. This is good, y'all. It's got a nice crunch to it. You hear me smacking. It's got a nice crunch to it. Has a nice flavor to it. And you know I'm going to take one for the team and taste another piece. I just put the whole thing in. Okay.
We're going to have it with steamed rice too.
This is so good. Okay, so you want some good nutrition. Can you tell a quick thing about the nutrition of broccoli?
I can't remember, honestly.
Okay. See? This is honest though. But I know it's good in fiber.
Yes.
And it's a good Vitamin A is
Vitamin
good
C.
green color, so it's good for fighting cancer. I know that part. And this is really good. Now that I'm finished smacking, I can tell you this. If you like this show, craziness and all, hit those thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, go to subscribe and click the black bell. After you click the first subscribe, then click the black bell. And then share it with everybody. Share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, share it with your relatives, and share it with your enemies, because everybody gotta eat. Okay? Now, next week, we're gonna be doing a mango pineapple salsa with Grandma Hershey is, because I'll be leaving my niece behind. She'll be at home and I'll be back home myself. So we're gonna have a mango pineapple salsa. It's nice and quick and easy and flavorful, and it's also good for you. Okay? So now, I almost lost one of my cue cards. I gotta do my shout outs. Can't leave without the shout outs. We almost done, y'all. Can't leave without the shout out. I want to shout out to my friend Reggie, because last week we talked about cholesterol, and he said his doctor said the same thing. Grandma, you're not mixing it up, see? And then I want to shout out to Donna and my two friends, Deborah and Deborah. I got two friends named Deborah, and they spell their name the same. They watched the show and they shared the show, and Donna did too, and I want to thank you. And then my good friend Najee and Alex and Linda and my beautiful niece, who also watched the show last week. And shout out to Central Bank, my lovely ladies there. They get sampled and they always watch my show. I love you. And then birthday shout outs to anybody who had a birthday in the last 7 days. I want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Some for you again. And that's about it. So thank you for stopping by and watching the show, and pass it on. And remember that I love you and can't wait to see you next week. All right?
Thanks for having me. See you later.
Thank you, my lovely niece. We give her a hug now. Yes. All right. I will see you soon. Once I find out how to get this monster act right. Get your bloopers here. Bye-bye. Mwah.